Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay, Atlanta's new standard in payroll. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. But before we get started, it's important to recognize our sponsor, OnPay. Without them, we couldn't be sharing these important stories. Today on Atlanta Business Radio, we have Sheryl Alberico and Robin Eccles with Nawic, the National Association for Women in Construction. Welcome, ladies.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
I'm so excited to learn what you're up to, but before we get started, can you share a little bit about Nawic? How are you serving folks through that organization?
So Nawic is a National Association of Women in Construction, and it's an amazing organization that supports women in construction. We're seeing a lot more women entering the construction industry, not only in the office, but in the field. And it's been around since about 1960, I think, and it started off with 16 members. And now we have 115 chapters across the country. And specifically in Atlanta, Nawic Atlanta, we have about 182 members, and we're the largest chapter in the nation. So
what kind of happens at a Nawic meeting or get-together?
So it's various things. It's educational. So we do, there's one event that we get together and we teach women how to read different blueprints. We get together and we help them with, getting their LinkedIn profile updated or getting new jobs even too, and just supporting each other with our stories. And we have mentorship as well too, and reverse mentorship. And then we also piggyback onto helping out a lot of women in the market, as well as far as charity events, as well as and specifically Robin's going to talk about one that we help out with the Block Kids that we are promoting for February 5th that's coming up.
Yeah, and before we get to that, can you share a little bit, is this to encourage women to consider a career in construction? Is it for women who are already in construction to help them kind of up level and get to new levels? What is the mission of the organization as a whole? Is it a combination of both?
Great. Yes, it's a combination of both. And then it's also, there's men that are part of it as well. We actually have a WIC week, which is Women in Construction Week. And the last Friday, it's in March, first week in March, we have Wear Red Day. So we have a whole bunch of men that are on the construction site that wear red that are supporting women in construction as well too. And it's just, it's conversations, it's awareness and support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Nawic is also educational too. There are many women that are in the construction industry that want to go higher up, maybe want to, be in the upper level. And Nawic has a personal development and education division where we call it PD&E. And once a month, somebody volunteers that's in the industry that teaches to teach something that they know they already are doing to somebody else who doesn't know it. And it's not necessarily an age thing. You could be old or young or in the industry for a long time or just starting out. And it's a good opportunity to perfect yourself, learn something new, and feel more confident in the industry.
Now, what's the trend? Are more and more women entering construction? Because I would imagine that with the advent of so much technology now that, maybe 50 years ago, you had to have a certain strength or a certain amount of size in order to do some of the work. But now I would think that that's not necessarily the case anymore. And there's plenty of opportunities for people of all sizes and strengths to be in construction.
That's correct. Yeah, it definitely is. I wear both. I wear heels and work boots in my position. So I'm on the job site and sometimes as a project manager, and I'm also in the office, and then I go to business development events as my business development role, and that's wearing high heels. So it's definitely a good opportunity to show all my strengths.
So is that message getting out there? Are women are more and more women considering a career in construction?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the stigma around women working in construction has reduced drastically. And in addition to all this, the pay gap between men and women is relatively small. It's still not equal, but I'm an architect by trade, and that's a lot bigger gap. and compared to other industries. So we're seeing a lot of women entering the construction industry, as plumbers, electricians, welders, things like that too. And they're welcomed. And we're seeing more and more of it.
And to that end, in order to help more people become aware of this career path and to give more information about it, you do this event called Block Kids, some sort of competition. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Block Kids is, like I said, is geared towards kindergarten through 6th grade. And the program is a national building program competition. It's sponsored at the local level through Nawic chapters and other organizations. This is an award-winning program. It introduces children to the construction industry in an effort to create an awareness of and to promote an interest in future careers in the construction industry. It's open to all elementary school children in grades 1 through 6, and it involves construction of various structures with interlocking blocks and 3 of the following items: a rock, string, foil. And they will compete and put something together, construct a project through no help of anybody else, just themselves, be creative, and they'll be judged by people in the construction industry that are there during the event. One-on-one, they ask questions, and through that questionnaire mainly, and the project and how they describe the project, they are judged and they win cash money for it.
So what's the genesis of this idea? How to get started?
So years ago, so this is through the Nawic Education Foundation. And years ago, back in it was 35 years ago, I think we had decided, Sheryl, was it 35 years ago? There was a member in Biloxi, and her granddaughter wanted to know more about construction. And so she taught her about it. And the grandmother was part of a Nawic program, or had just started the Nawic program. And that granddaughter designed this entire event around Legos and interlocking blocks and stuff. And they started Block Kids.
Wow. And it's been going strong ever since?
Yep. And it's won a lot of awards. It's had presentations nationwide. I mean, all the chapters are involved with it. There's 167 chapters. There's 4,500 members as of 2017. And it's going even more now that we're in 2024. We hosted last year the largest ever Block Kids event in the history of Block Kids. And
what was it, 100 kids?
It was 107 children, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. And this year we are almost 2 weeks out, or a little bit less than 2 weeks out, and we have 108 already signed up.
And Robin, you did a really good job last year of having different judges in the construction industry, general contractors, specialty contractors, suppliers, owners, architects, and engineers, which was a really nice blend, because all these kids had questions, because they don't even know about these careers. They just think construction is driving a truck, right? So,
or laborers.
Correct.
Which, and that's one thing that I really push during the event when I do the presentation, is that construction is not just the guy with the yellow vest on. It's a plethora of things. It's a lawyer that's a construction lawyer that helps with the contracts. It's the people who are taking the drone pictures and taking pictures of what's going on inside the building, and, X-ray vision, the AI stuff that we have now, all the digital type of things, the software developers. There's a plethora of different parts to the industry that makes us all work together to become, these buildings that the community enjoys and everyone enjoys. So
now, how does the event work? Is it happening in schools all over the city, or are they all coming to one location to do this event? And is it so let's start there.
Yes, everybody. So each chapter decides where and when they want to do it. It's one event, one time, once a year. And this particular one is held at South Forsyth Middle School in Forsyth County this year. So, and everyone will come there, and we will we have a cafeteria, and we'll let everybody hang out in the cafeteria, and that's where they'll do their competition. The competition itself only lasts an hour, but after that, Construction Ready, who is a career evangelist, really, in curriculum and developing people for construction starting at kindergarten. They have a contract. They are contracted with the Georgia Department of Education right now to go into the schools and teach curricula that furthers careers in construction, and they will be there at this event as well. And they will head up our construction part of it, where they actually use hammers and nails and tools, and they will build an actual project themselves, an actual craft. Each child will have their own, and their parents can help them, their brothers and sisters can help them, and it's really amazing to watch. I have plenty of videos and pictures from last year's event. It was really cool to see the parents engaged with their kids, and parents learned a lot of things too that they didn't know about construction that day. I had a lot of people tell me that, and then they leave with their 100 Legos and their craft project and an entire amount of information that they learn through different genres. The hands-on displays that we have with construction items there, the actual presentation by the actual sitting with their judge. Each judge has 3 or 4 kids each that they will talk with and discuss things and answer questions and teach them even more. And they'll walk away with a lot of good memories.
Now, is there like kind of one grand prize winner, or is there winners at different ages? Like how does that work?
So there is a winner for each grade level, kindergarten through 6th grade, and then one of them will be the grand prize winner, and they will advance to regions. And
then at region, is that the next level, and then there's a national, or is this?
Yes, it's regions, and then from the Southeast region, they'll pick, I think it's 3, and then those will go to national.
And then you mentioned prizes. What are they competing for?
So each chapter gets to decide what prize that they choose to give. Our particular chapter gives $25 gift card for each age group, and then the grand prize winner will get a $50 card.
Cool. So it sounds like, even if you don't win, it still seems like a fun event, and you're going to walk away with a lot of knowledge and meet some other folks that are kind of along the same journey that you're on. That's correct.
Yep.
And Lee, we had so many great kids last year. They were so passionate about it, and you'd be so impressed what they came up with. And Robin wasn't there. That one girl, I think she was in 5th grade. She had this amazing project. It was like the whole ecosystem, and she was a lovely girl. And we found out that she was temporarily homeless, and just being homeless, she realized it's so important that the community gets together and helps each other. And that was her project, and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did. A lot of the children, we try to encourage them. One of the first questions we ask them is, who would use this, what you're building? What is it for? Why did you think to build this? And the things that the kids come up with, like, there's in my community, not a lot of people have money for electricity. So if we could build a powerhouse really close to our houses, then, maybe we could all share the electricity and our bills would be a little cheaper. They're thinking outside the box. They were thinking about community and how to help one another. And the boy that built a ramp so that the wheelchair could go into the house instead of, just be not, just a ramp. What's the ramp for? Well, the ramp has a purpose. And they were thinking, just looking at their projects is not enough. You actually have to have the stories behind it and what the children were thinking about. And, what do you want to be when you grow up? We asked them questions. And what do you think that you used while you were doing this? Do you think this is science or pulleys or levers or, there's different tools involved in this, how many nails did you have to hammer, in order to make this project work? And it's interlocking blocks. So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for them to build things and create them in their own fashion, in their own way, but with creativity. And, as they ask questions like, but I don't know how I'm going to build this. Why would I build this? There's pencil and paper right here. Why don't you draw it out? Try to draw it out. Well, that's drafting. That's blueprints. And now we're going to put it, together in these blocks. Well, that's modeling, and that's, an actual mock-up so people can look at it, make a decision. So you're teaching the stages of construction within your small little 3 or 4 children right there in the group.
So what do you need more of? How can we help you?
Well, there's, sorry, I thought Sheryl was going to jump in at this point,
Okay.
but
We need sponsors. We have quite a few, and we can read. Robin, do you have the list of the sponsors to date? Do you want to read those out?
I can. I didn't even think about that. That's a great idea.
You know what? I'll tell him one more story, quick story. We also had somebody there, Oriole, and she owns her own construction company, and she's African American, and it's a minority women small business. But what's great about her, she wrote a children's book, and she wrote it about this girl, Connie, who's a 10-year-old girl who loves building and dreams of being a construction worker, but her friends don't understand her. And she went through this whole book last year, and the kids loved it. So,
yeah, it's a video too. She's got it in book form, and then she's got a video, and we show the video at the event. And it talks about how we all have differing likes, and that, we should focus on those likes. And if you like to do these things, then find out ways to make those things happen in your life. And hers was construction. So, which is really good. And it does encourage, different types of people who maybe thought, my mom wants me to be a doctor or something, but I really like construction. And, maybe even the parents who are in the room listening to all of this stuff are like, oh, we didn't realize, there's lots of different opportunities. So,
and actually, Robin, one girl last year said to me, "Can you go talk to my parents and tell them I don't want to be a nurse?"
Yeah. I mean, it's we all have an idea for our children, how we want our children to develop and achieve. And, the biggest thing about construction that we try to push is that there's all levels of achievement in construction, whether you are, a worker bee and, or just, really happy with being a worker bee, or you want to be in management, or you want to be in design, or maybe you want to just be, somebody that actually takes pictures of all of it and kind of puts it all together and surmises it. I mean, there's so many different avenues in construction that they can look at. And like I said, it wasn't just education for the children; it was education for the parents too. So.
Right. And it's important to open their mind to the possibility. You don't want the parent to self-select the kid out, and you don't want the kid to self-select out before they even know what it can be. So it's important to educate and to let them know there are so many facets to this, and it's so important, and there's so much opportunity here, and you shouldn't kind of quit before you begin.
That's right.
Well, and we actually, part of what Nawic does is we go to job sites that are mostly women run, which is, I'm still learning, I love going to a job site, and it's, all the electricians, the plumbers, the site superintendent, they're all women running it, which is, it's foreign to me to see that as well too. So I'm constantly learning and realizing what the opportunities are out there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So one more time, when is this event, and when can they apply for the event?
So the event is Saturday, February the 3rd. It's from 8:30 in the morning until noon. Registration is open now. They can find it on Eventbrite website by typing in Nawic Block Kids, BLOCK Kids, or they can get in touch with me, of course. And I'd be more than happy to get them involved. But that link is open for them, and it's searchable in Eventbrite on there.
And Nawic is Nawic, right? That's how you...
Correct. Yes. And even if they type in, because I kind of did a search myself, they type in Block Kids, it should come up, and Block Kids, Cumming, Georgia, or Forsyth County, Georgia.
And then if somebody wants to learn more about Nawic, it's nawicatlanta.org. That's the website?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. We are looking for industry leaders that may want to participate or get involved in this, to come and bring some touchables, whatever's in their industry. Maybe somebody that runs a paint company wants to bring some paint samples out, for the kids, or somebody who is in the electrical field wants to bring some, electrical panel boards or something like that. Anything that's touchable for the kids, because I believe in different genres teach great education, and for kids to be able to come out and look at it and really touch it and go, wow, so that's what drawing is. That's what is drafting and architecture work. work, and look at the awards they made. Look at these big buildings that they built. And lots of construction industry people have so many different things, even if it's just hammers and nails and screws and things like that, that can show a child, hey, this is what's part of our industry. So
yeah, it makes it come alive. It's not their imagination anymore. They can see and touch it, and it becomes real.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
And we couldn't do this without our sponsors. I found it, Robin, so I can read them out.
Yeah.
ESC Southeast, Southeast Scanning and Cutting Services. Mm-hmm. Sorry, it was ECS. You're right. ECS Southeast. I said that wrong. Live Oak Construction Supply Company, FMGI General Contractors, Fortune Johnson Contractors, Manhattan Construction Company. Is it Ali Cassetti Brick?
Ali Cassidy.
Cassidy, sorry. Kaufman Engineering's, Memco Staffing. Is it Wrights Construction and Development?
Wrights to Construction. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wrights to Construction. Kratos Equipment. Mm-hmm. And then Miller & Miller with the ABC of Georgia. That's Neil Wilcove and Mark Cleverly. And then last but not least, Eccles Welding and Fabrication.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you both for sharing your story today. You're doing such important work, and we appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting us share.
All right. This is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.